Welcome into another edition of Mavs Latest. I am Josyah Howard, and today we are going to start again with the one, the only head coach Jason Kidd. Now, we've heard earlier in the week that the Knicks haven't formally asked for a interview with Jason Kidd, but in all pomp and circumstance, they've denied the request for the Knicks to interview head coach Jason Kidd. Another name, Billy Donovan, also turned down the option to be interviewed. Hawks head coach Quinn Snyder, another guy that they wanted to interview. The Hawks said, nah, B. So the Knicks are still trying to poach everyone's coaches for some reason. I think they might interview Taylor Jenkins coming up this week, which I think would be a great hire for them. So we'll see where they go. But per ESPN's Brian Windhorst and Tim Bontemps, there is a belief amongst the NBA that Kidd or Billy Donovan will try to force the issue because of their connections to New York. The Athletic's James Edwards III later reported that the Knicks might circle back to Kidd and Donovan in the coming weeks. There's a belief around the league that Kidd and Donovan are looking for contract extensions from their current franchises, Dallas Mavericks and the Chicago Bulls. If those don't materialize, that might be the opening the Knicks are looking for Edwards writes. So yeah, since they fired Tom Thibodeau, the Knicks have pretty much been denied by everyone they've asked to interview a coach. But like Edwards III from the Athletic says, anything can materialize in the NBA very quickly. So before, they're saying there's a bunch of denials. They haven't been able to interview him. But if Kidd forces the issue, anything could happen. And I don't necessarily see why Kidd would want to force the issue. But again, he has coached Jalen Brunson with the Dallas Mavericks. If they're trying to get a Giannis, that might entice Giannis to say, hey, trade me there. So another thing that James Edwards added in this piece is that Kidd didn't always enjoy being the public spokesperson after the Luka Doncic trade, and that can serve as an opening if he wants out, but there's no indication that he's really looking to leave Dallas. So this is fun. I like this. It leaves the door open. It feels more cracked than open, but this is something we're going to have to track all summer long, so it's going to be fun for us here on Mavs Latest. Drop a comment, tell me what you think about this whole Kidd drama. But yeah, this is crazy. It's not like Kidd has not stirred the pot to get to a different franchise before. So this is what makes it fascinating. He left Brooklyn to go to Milwaukee. And he was not out of his deal yet. That was something that he kind of applied the pressure, and he was able to make that move. So it's not out of the question that Jason Kidd would do this. So at the end of the day, again, I'm gonna keep tracking this story. I hope you guys keep tracking this story with me here on Mavs Latest. But now I want to go around the Mavs chatter. What is the latest Mavs chatter going on around the Dallas Mavericks? One story I saw, could Derek Lively be out of Dallas? Grant Hughes of Bleacher Report suggested a potential trade that would send Derek Lively to the Eastern Conference champions, the Indiana Pacers. Now, Derek Lively only played 36 games this season, but he was a big piece to the 2024 finals team. Obviously, his size, his shot blocking ability, his lob potential in terms of running the floor, any guard in space, throwing up the ball, and he's slam dunking it every time. I know the big thing with him circling around the internet that he's now like 7'3". Like I guess he grew a couple inches over the summer or over the off season, like the short off season, like from when the Mavs lost in the play-in to now. Apparently, Derek Lively's gained a couple inches of height, so that will be interesting. Hughes continues to say, he's sneaky passer, and he's jumped to the 93rd percentile among bigs in assist to usage ratio in this past season. And that plays well in the Indiana movement heavy attack. I mean, on the surface, he definitely would fit well with the Pacers. I definitely don't think the Mavericks should think about moving on from Derek Lively. I've said it in past episodes. If you have to pick between Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford, you move on from Daniel Gafford. He continues to say the Mavericks have a logjam up front, something we've kind of talked about here on Mavs Latest, and I do think the Mavs are going to do something about it. Now, should it be the people that are being suggested here? No. But I want to hear it out. Let's see, the logjam up front, so perhaps the Pacers could entice them by offering Benedict Mathurin, a shoot-first guard whose skills is more needed in Dallas rather than Indiana. I think the Pacers need more. The Mavericks need more of a playmaking guard, and I think we'll get to that topic in this line of Mavs chatter a little bit down the line. So yeah, like an extra bucket would be nice for the Pacers, but I think what fits this team is the size that you have in Lively. Especially if you have to get rid of some size. I don't think getting rid of your biggest player is the move here. And, I've really enjoyed Benedict Mathurin in these finals. He's been outstanding. But in terms of the type of depth you have on this team, I don't think he's the type of player you move Derek Lively for, because Mathurin's shown in the past he kind of has some attitude issues, kind of some stuff that I think holds him back, and Derek Lively so far in his career has shown he's a great kid, really mature for his age. So I don't think that's somebody you necessarily want to move off from. Also, Anthony Davis, he's already uttered over and over again he wants to be power forward. Trading a guy like Derek Lively doesn't play well to Anthony Davis playing power forward. That smells of Anthony Davis playing center, something he said over and over again he doesn't want to do. Jokingly, he said the moment he told the Lakers he wanted a center, they traded him. So, again, you are built for a team that Anthony Davis has been asking for. And I think you add Cooper Flag to the mix with Derek Lively, and the defense is going to be in a great spot. So I don't think you move on from Derek Lively to the Pacers. Let me know what you think in the comments. Next player I was reading up on was Russell Westbrook, 2016 MVP, Mr. Triple-Double in the modern era. With Kyrie Irving's ACL injury, obviously, the Dallas Mavericks are in a need for a playmaking guard who will, he'll play games and will be durable, but also, you kind of, again, I keep bringing this up, when you bring in a guy like Cooper Flag, it's been an underrated thing in the NBA to have really strong veteran presence on your team and on your roster and in your locker room. Westbrook adds that. I think a lot of the criticism with him has gotten a little overblown over the past few years. He was good in the only team he really was terrible on was the Lakers. Every other team I felt like he's added some type of value to. Because really, outside of the Thunder, he averaged a triple-double with every other team he joined outside of the Lakers and the Nuggets now. But that's where he's at in his career, so I don't blame him for that. If you think in terms of the money he's going to garner, not more than the veterans minimum at this point, like $3.5 million, something like that. And he fits exactly what you need while Kyrie's out. And I honestly think when Kyrie comes back, he's a good six-man option. Energy, defense. But it's the Russell Westbrook experience. And if you're not mentally prepared for that, you're going to be a very unhappy fan if Russell Westbrook comes to Dallas. Another story I saw, and we talked about this in a past episode, is Kyrie Irving responded to Tracy McGrady. So early in the week, Tracy McGrady was on Young Man and the Three podcast, and he noted that he felt like there was a guard from the past that had better handles than Kyrie Irving. T Mac says, you remember Jamal Tinsley? Man, I don't think nobody had better handles than Jamal Tinsley. Even Kyrie. I think Jamal Tinsley's handles was probably the best I ever seen. Kyrie Irving, on his own live stream, took no issue to McGrady's opinion. He also gave his own take on what sets him apart from Jamal Tinsley. This is Kyrie. When I see an OG like T-Mac come out and say I don't think anyone had better handles than Jamal Tinsley, even Kyrie, it doesn't bother me because I'm in the mix of all these great players that have came before me. I wouldn't be who I am without watching those guys that came before me, and I just took it to a whole different place. When it comes to every portion of my game, I feel I try to get the best homage to all the great ones that come before me. So when he's talking like this, I know he's talking about one of the guys that he's seen that has better handles, but I don't just think he has the same movement. Jamal Tinsley was not moving like me. I don't think anybody moves like me. I think we have similarities. Others have similarities, and they've advanced different things. I think everything Kyrie Irving has said is fair. I respect T-Mac, just the level of player he was and what he means to the game. I just don't agree with the take. I just think the take is wrong. Kyrie Irving has the best handles in NBA history. I don't think it's relatively close. I do think the thing that sets Kyrie apart is, either hand, every move in the bag in terms of ball handling, he has it. Either hand, can stop on a dime. The thing is with Kyrie is the defender doesn't really affect what he's doing. He just will counter any move that you go to him with. So no matter what, every move he's making, it's quick and it's a counter. Anything you give him, he has a counter for it. So yeah, I think it's all fun and games when we have these conversations, but in terms of, there's certain debates in basketball, and the ball handle, who has the greatest ball handling ability in basketball to me, not really that much of a debate. It's Kyrie Irving, it's been Kyrie Irving, and until I see someone with crazy and one ability, but they're in the league, then we could start talking about if you compete with Kyrie Irving. Another fun story that I saw that I thought was interesting is that Rick Carlisle admitted to back in the 2020 draft that they had Tyrese Haliburton as high as their best player on their draft board, and they dangled their two selections of number 18 and number 31, as well as some of their starter and sometimes sixth man, Jalen Brunson, to every team until Haliburton went off the board at 12 to the Kings. So keep this in mind. They admitted to, and this was reported by ESPN's Jamal Collier and Tim McMahon, they admitted to almost trading both of their second-round picks would have included Jalen Brunson, losing out on Jalen Brunson to draft Haliburton. And Rick Carlisle, who was coaching the Mavs at the time, said, "We tried like hell to get him and move up, and we just couldn't do it. When I tell you that Mark Cuban tried everything, when Mark puts his mind to something, he usually can figure it out." Whew. Wow, history would have been crazy different if they were able to trade up for Tyrese Haliburton. Who knows if they get Luka at that point? I'm kind of trying to remember. I feel like Luka had to have been on the roster by then. So yeah, Luka and Tyrese Haliburton, whew, that would have been crazy. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that the Mavericks tried really hard to get possibly the upcoming Finals MVP on their roster. in 2020. Just fun to see how now his current star player, he tried to get him on his past team and it didn't work out, but fate has it that he was meant to coach Tyrese Halliburton all along, and the finals have been fun, tied up 2-2, so we'll see what happens. So this is Mavs latest. Another story, the Mavericks apparently announced they drafted Cooper Flagg early. So apparently in a tweet, they posted a graphic. No, excuse me. On the team website, they featured a flag graphic that said, "Welcome to Dallas." It was a picture of him in his Mavericks jersey. It was quickly deleted. But I just wanted to mention it as a quick hitter that somebody probably released it early. It's not really a leak. It's not really a surprise. It's not really anything. We all know you're drafting Cooper Flagg. We can't wait for him to be a member of the Dallas Mavericks. To end it off today on Mavs Latest, just wanted to mention Mavs assistant coach Jared Dudley. Obviously been mentioned in some rumors here as a potential head coaching jobs are available in the NBA. This summer, it will be coaching in the Basketball Without Borders Asia and Singapore. This is the 15th edition of Basketball Without Borders Asia. The event will be held in the Singapore Basketball Center from June 19th to June 22nd. In addition, Dudley and the campers at the event will also be coached by Philadelphia 76ers point guard Tyrese Halliburton, Celtics guard Derek White, Duop Reith, and more players that I don't want to butcher their names, and they're not necessarily the biggest notable NBA players or anything like that. So I apologize to them. The NBA and FIBA have made the initial announcement, and the campers at the event will include 30 boys and 30 girls, according to the press release. So congrats to Coach Jared Dudley. That's really just admirable for him to do. Really huge news for him, and I'm excited. We'll obviously see how the event goes starting June 19th. This is Mavs Latest. I'm Josyah Howard, and please subscribe to the channel, leave some comments down below, and let's keep getting it.